Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be going over the details for the new Dokkan Fest exclusive STR Master Roshi and the Banner Bunny Bulma. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And yes, if you do want to try to attempt to say Banner Bunny Bulma 10 times fast, feel free to do so. But of course, last night when I'm getting the preview for this new Dokkan Fest exclusive, basically the final, or supposedly the final JP first, because we're going to sync up in the worldwide celebration with Global and JP. So from here on out, after Master Roshi, we should have the same units at the same time. We'll see on that, but yes, Dokkan Festival exclusive Master Roshi. And I'll say the community was a little bit split hearing this news here. I think it's fine, but let's go ahead and look at the details and give you my full thoughts here. Now, interestingly enough, when I saw this, I was like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be an LR, because if you guys remember the global legendary election way back when, there was a list of characters that was supposed to be decided on what the LR is going to be, and you know, year by year after the years, each one of those characters have been kind of checked off the list, and Master Roshi, Krillin, and Goku is on that list, but has not received their LR yet. So I was like, well, this has to be an LR, but it's not. It's a unit super attack Master Roshi, so we could still possibly see a Master Roshi, Krillin, and Goku, you know, full team unit with all the names on there as well as an LR in the future, you know, possibly even a part 2. I'm just throwing that out here. So but anyway, let's go ahead and look at this new meta leader skill. So are we going to see more of this, or is this going to be a one-off? I hope we see more of this, because this is going to be a standalone 200% leader skill. Right, so it's Peppy Gals in this case, which is kind of strange, because if you look at the unit in itself down here, Peppy Gals is not on here. So you're like, wait a minute, what's that all about? So I will discuss and how this all works. But Peppy Gals 200%, and then Turtle School and DB Saga 170%. And if it's not Peppy Gals, you're able to get a 200% if it's Bond of Master Disciple and Kamehameha. Not if it's Peppy Gals and Master Bond of Disciple and Kamehameha, you're going to get 230%. That is not the case. It's Peppy Gals excluded, right? So this is something new, though, right? We've never seen this type of leader skill before on a Dokkan Fest exclusive. A single 200%, which is a Carnival unit, and then a 200%. It's 170 and 30% here. This is a double category lead with a single 200%. I like it. This might be, again, the future of leader skills down the road. So this might be the first one out of the bunch that we're going to see more of these. I would be disappointed if this was a one-off, right? I would be disappointed in that. So you have now the unit super attacks. So you have the regular super attack here, raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy. The first unit super attack here is stacking attack, and then greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy, and that is for Goku or Krillin. That's going to be has to be youth. Okay, so it's not any Goku or Krillin. It has to be Goku youth or Krillin youth. Okay, interesting enough. Are we going to get any good ones? Possibly in the future, or some easy A's, right? So. Because we really don't have any. I guess, yeah, you have Kid Goku, the physical Kid Goku, right? So anyway, you do also have another super attack here, Max Power Kamehameha, greatly raises attack stacking, and then greatly raises defense 1 turn. So basically the same thing, except for this is great versus high chance of stunning the enemy, and is activated when there's a Bulma attacking the same turn. Fortunately, we have that Banner Bunny Bulma. So nothing too special here. You got stunning abilities, stuff like that, so good for certain events, of course, Super Battle Road, things of that nature, but of course a brand new leader skill, which is very exciting. So let's go ahead and look at the passive skill here. So you do have an entrance animation, which provides you 30% damage mitigation for 7 turns, which is solid, as long as you have some other stuff going on here. So you have attack and defense 150%, Ki plus 3 reduces damage by 20%, plus an additional attack and defense 150% when performing a super attack, and launches an additional super attack when there's 2 or more Turtle School category allies on the team. That should be very easy to complete, right? So if you're running this as a main unit, you're just going to be running another Turtle School on there. But here's kind of an interesting thing. I'm looking at here going, okay, well, that's not hard. But what's going to happen if you do have that, which is very strong, plus an additional attack and defense, 82% per Peppy Gal's category attacking in the same turn. So really, to max it out, you want to have 2 Peppy Gal's category allies attacking in the same turn, and have 2 or more Turtle Schools in on the team. So sometimes you're not going to have in a rotation Peppy Gals and then Roshi, right? So basically multiply this by 2, that's 164% boost if you have 2 Peppy Gals attacking the same turn. So but generally you're probably just going to have 1, which is still pretty solid there. Plus an additional 82% to attack and high chance to perform a critical hit when there is an ally whose Bulma is attacking the same turn. So they're really making sure that you're running this with LR Bulma or the new Banner Bunny Bulma. And then Turtle School or Peppy Gal's category key +2 attack. Oh, nice. Okay, so I actually didn't know this. This is a support unit for Turtle School and Peppy Gal's. Very, very strong. Okay, very strong. So, shoot, you actually might run this in a double support leader skill than on main rotation. Because you have 7 turns. Well, you probably want to run in main rotation for the first 7 turns, and then you slot them out in once the 7 turns is up, if you're fighting a long battle. Interesting. Active skill here recovers 50% HP to all allies in, I'm sorry, 50% HP, and then all allies key +3 attack and defense for 30% for 1 turn. Can be activated from the 3rd turn from the start of battle when HP is 70% or less, or it can be activated from the 7th turn. So this at least provides you a healing factor if you get to the point where you're like, okay, that's going to actually come off pretty soon. Pretty nice. Okay. It's not like broken, but I kind of see what they're kind of doing here. This is a filler unit, right? Generally, these units here right before the Worldwide Celebration is going to be a filler unit. It's providing some insight on like what the new leader skill might look like. So that's going to be interesting here. But generally, this isn't going to be a dominating unit. Link skills: Turtle School, Infire, Supreme Warrior, Kamehameha, World Tournament Champion, Incredible Adventure, Fearsome. Okay, so link skills aren't going to link well with a lot of different characters on here. And then you have Full Power, DB Saga, Kamehameha, Bottom Master Disciple, Earthlings, Battle of Wits, Turtle School, and Earthbred Fighters. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think this unit's going to have its place, but it's very going to be very situational, right? So speaking of situational, let's look at the 200% units that you're going to be running. Of course, this is all Peppy Gals here. I did highlight Videl, Dokkan Festival exclusive STR Videl, as a possible EZA to the Dokkan Festival exclusive, right? Generally, we have a Dokkan Festival exclusive on generally every celebration now these days. And Videl makes a lot of sense. So if she becomes the first position unit, this can be a very, very strong team when it comes to Peppy Gals, because you can then run LR Bulma. The Bunny Bulma seems pretty good as well, and possibly some other units on here that can work out. So it's gonna be very interesting. But again, you do want to bring in one other Turtle School individual on there, which you do actually have a lot of options. So this is a 200% to Turtle School and Turtle School and DB Saga. These are the units that you can run. As you can tell, you have pretty much all the Gokus, right? So having all the Gokus available for you is going to be highly, highly beneficial. So I think it's not going to be hard to add the Turtle School individuals on there. It's just figuring out then the Peppy Gals on there. It's going to be actually looking at this, it's going to be a very interesting team. You have the EZA UI Goku, you have the the Tech UI Goku. That's generally could be a main rotation, and this is going to be a 50% support. Right, and then maybe you have like Bulma and another Bulma. I don't even know. Or you can have MUI Goku and then UI Goku on separate rotations with Bulmas on each, and then this will anyway. I'll do the full breakdown when the data download comes in and team builds and stuff like that, but it is going to be very interesting. So let's dive into the Banner Bunny Bulma. So the Banner Bunny Bulma, I try to say it fast. The Banner Bunny Bulma is a a pretty solid unit, seems like. So this is a 130% to DB Saga, raises attack and defense by 86% for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to enemy and seals super attack here, which is very funny. This is just like really high because I'm guessing the stats are very low, etc, etc. But this is going to be, I think, a support unit, right? So attack and defense 150% plus an additional attack defense 186. Wow. When performing a super attack, and then high chance of evading enemy's attack, launches additional attack and it has a high chance of becoming a super attack. DB Saga, Earthbred Fighters, Peppy Gals, category key +1, attack and defense 50%. So that could be very strong for particular units on here. So boy, you can have a double 50% support if you're running this on a main rotation, or if you're running Master Roshi on a main rotation with the Goku. Okay, interesting. Randomly changes 1 key sphere of a certain type to rainbow key spheres when there are 2 or more Earthbred Fighters category allies on the team, which should be the case, generally speaking. If you're running this unit here, chance of evading enemy's attack 10% before the character receives an attack. Okay, great. So that bumps it up from 50 to 60, and then have a chance of evading enemy attack, including super attack, 5% within each. Okay, so it gets easier to evade every time you evade. Okay, all right, I dig that. So interestingly enough, I don't know if you're going to be running this as a requirement, but if you want a support unit, this at least is a support unit. So really what I've always wanted banner units to be is at least a support unit of some sort. So in this case, it is supporting 3 categories, so that's going to be a nice boost if, of course, they have maybe all 3 of them, which I don't think that's the case, right? Earthbred Fighters. Well, the other Bulma, right? The other Bulma is DB Saga, Peppy Gals, and Earthbred Fighters. So, okay. So if you have Bulma in the rain rotation, you have Bulma. You have Bulma rotation. Interesting. Link skills are here. I'm not gonna go through it. And then Peppy Gals, Dragonball Seekers, Earthlings. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna mess around with the team builds because that seems kind of interesting what the team builds might look like with this unit on here. But ultimately, yeah, it's a fun unit. It's nothing that's going to break the game. It's going to give you some challenges. It's a fun unit. It's a filler unit, and it's probably a skippable unit for most free-to-play players, low-to-play players on here. Again, right before the Worldwide Celebration, which should be OP top units. This is a fun unit to have. So anyway, don't get so serious about the criticism of this unit on here. Don't summon if you don't want them. So anyway, with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkan, and we'll catch you next time. Later.